Hello, hello, hello. What's going on? Welcome, 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 welcome. This is the Midweek Mindset Reset. If you haven't been to one of my Midweek Mindset Resets, this is where we get ourselves back to zero in the middle of the week. So that way we can make sure we're completely and utterly objective in the market. That way we can make the most sound decision and remove as much emotion as possible. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Midweek Mindset Reset. Wednesday wisdom for weekend wins to refuel your fire and reignite your passion. All right. So this is very important to me. I love doing the midweek mindsets because I hate the fact that I waiting to the weekends and everything is dissected. You probably need some damage control before, or you need to be able to kind of get yourself back grounded because you made some monstrous moves. So in our previous mindset, what I was explaining was a lot of culprits, right? And with those culprits can really cause a lot of problems. So you got to be able to kind of like arrest them. So how do you arrest the culprits? You have to be able to reset yourself properly so that way these culprits don't arise and start wreaking havoc completely into your entire trading strategy and your type of setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and get deep into it. So here's a list of the culprits. These were the culprits that we talked about: overtrading, ignoring stop loss, letting stop losses run, skipping research, emotional trading, impulsive trading. This is just some. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I do have my mindset introduction class that's going to be coming out very soon. Look out for the link for that. That way you could go ahead and sign up for it. It's going to really break down the three-dimensional aspect from a psychology standpoint of the entire market. That way you can make sound decisions. But just to kind of get into this and kind of recap what we talked about before, right? Overtrading. I used a lot of hip hop references to this. So overtrading, less is more. There's plenty of us. This is a quote from Nas, right? So get rid of the clutter. Get rid of the fact, because it's hard enough, right? If you're over trading, you're putting yourself in a very tough position because you're putting yourself in a position where even when you need to journal your trades, you're gonna have a hard time journaling your trades because you spent so much energy literally wrapped around doing all these trades. So finding out what was your mindset to get into that trade. What were you looking for? What type of setup it is. Now I'm a scalper, so I kind of group mine. So it may seem like overtrade, but it's a certain setup, and I'm taking a little off the top each and every time. Now I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one where it feels like you're more so going through the muscle memory of just clicking a button because you want to be exposed to the market without any sound research whatsoever. That's over trading. Okay. Wrong one. So now we also have ignoring stop losses, right? Ignoring stop losses is a problem, right? But ignoring stop loss is kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing, because ignoring stop loss also is akin to letting stop losses run. So I'm not one to say that I've never had ignoring stop loss or letting losses run, but I would say I have less on letting losses run than I have on ignoring stop loss. Because letting losses run is you not conceding to the market. And if you have a problem conceding to the market, that's not going to help you anyways, because the market is always going to be king. If you haven't read Tom Hougart's book, they make their own decision. It is one individual. You're swimming like a minnow amongst a whole bunch of sharks. Do not think that you are going to just overpower the market because you did some type of sound bias anchoring setup, that it just leaves you holding on to something that is not going to give you the fruition, right? So that's one that's a problem. Skipping research, that's a problem. You got to be able to know your market climate, because that's the one that's going to keep you sound and keep you safe when it's all said and done. Emotional trading and impulse trading. Emotional trading and impulse trading, like I said, it's kind of like the Bonnie and Clyde type of thing, right? The only reason you're doing impulse trading is because you're emotional, so you're doing emotional trading. Or the only reason you're emotional in the first place is because you did an impulsive trade, it didn't go your way, now you feel some type of way. You gotta be able to arrest these culprits. So how do you arrest them? Just like an officer has to have a gun, an officer has to have a police car, handcuffs, the tools, dispatch, and everything else. I'm going to give you all the tools today. That way you can be able to arrest all these bad guys, all these culprits, lock them up, throw away the key, so that way they never show up inside of your trading journey. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. The first reset, right? Reset number one. This is probably the number one thing that you could do. The beat of life. Look, I know for a fact you're a trader. You've been trading for a little bit. You probably picked up in 2020. Me, I started trading back in 2004. I think at the end of the day, I wish I had someone that taught me this back then, because I would have survived 2008 a little bit better. But with my, use my shoulders so that way you can step up and be a better trader. I didn't have this. I didn't know. Being a trader at that point, I gave up. I threw in the towel. I was like, I had a lot of money locked into General Motors, GM, and they went bankrupt, thinking that they were going to get a bailout because they were giving bailouts everywhere there. But you remind yourself, nobody's built like you. You design yourself. That's from Jay-Z. And the reason why I'm saying that you design yourself is because you are the trader that you made yourself out to be. You're a accumulation of all your habits, and you are a accumulation of all your disciplines. So it's very important as you attack the market that you know that you have other things other than trading. You design yourself. What's unique about you? Remember that. If you're trading for more than 4 hours, take 4 hours for yourself. Remind yourself of who you are. Okay. Next one. The rhythm of relationship. So kind of similar to knowing yourself and everything else, you gotta have a rhythm of relationship. Now, I don't know if you have a significant other or you have some type of individual that you deal with, or maybe it's just friends, family, or whatever the case may be. The rhythm of relationship is probably the most important thing, because it allows you to kind of like reset yourself and get back to what's joyful. The market doesn't do everything right. You're not going to bat 100%. You might have a 60% day and still be profitable. You may have a 90% day, but then end up being still negative. Like, that's how the market kind of operates. So having outside relationship, community, and connections, when we're on our trading floor, we'll start talking about trading. And if there's nothing that's giving us a setup, we don't want to force anything. We'll probably start talking about music, what's going on with life. We just went through Thanksgiving. We start talking about things from Thanksgiving. It's just the way for you to be able to have a rhythm relationship. That way you can have a sound relationship with yourself in your trading. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Reset number 3. The harmony of health. Now, a lot of folks from my trading floor is probably going to go ahead and read me for this one, but there's more to physical health in itself. There's also mental health, and mental health is probably one of the leading problems in this day and age, for especially when we talk about teens and kids with social media. So let's compound what that's happening with being liked, being accepted, being all of this thing, on top of the fact that the trading is not going your way. Then you feel like the market is just against you, and you feel like you're the victim, and you start to get into that victim cycle, and then you're like, you feel like everything is destroyed around you. It's very important that you address your mental health. That's why I love doing mindset, because it allows me to kind of compartmentalize a lot of things and then really do some self-reflection and apply some empathy in the process, because I know some traders that kind of struggle with a lot of this, right? Because when you have a harmony of health, you got wealth, you got all of these things, everything's starting to balance itself out. This is going to allow for you to kind of be at peace. What I do need to add, and I know the floor is going to come after me, is where I actually really start to key off on being able to go to a gym, maybe start working out and everything else. I am going to peel myself away from the computer. I know y'all probably laughing. Go ahead, like the video as well, and hit the subscribe button along the way, since y'all want to talk about that. So I'll probably do some shorts with some gym stuff and everything else, and try to balance my trading with the gym as well. All right. I'll leave you with this quote. I don't chase money, man. Money chases me. You got to have that mindset. That's from 50 cents. Don't worry about it. The money is the byproduct. If you do everything in your discipline, everything will come. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so just like I was talking about health, now we're talking about the wholeness of wealth, right? Now, a lot of people think it's wealth is money. Look, money is probably one of the keyest things when you talk about wealth. If we be like, hey, what's Jeff Bezos' wealth or what's Warren Buffett's wealth? The first thing we talk about is how much cash they have in a bank account. But if we really think about it, wealth is a lot bigger than that. So wealth is one of those things that, how do you appreciate the first couple of topics I gave you? One, we're talking about one, the reset of life. Who are you as an individual? Are you only a trader? If that's the case, then you're going to have to find other things that kind of brings you joy, because trading is very emotionally driven to a certain degree. It will drive you crazy. We're humans, right? And then you got the physical health. You got the harmony of relationships. Though that's the wealth as a whole. So there's a wholeness of wealth outside of just the financial gain itself. Like my relationship with my kids and how I interact with them, spending movie nights, going out with my wife, or those little things allow for you to have the wholeness of wealth, the wealth of life, more so than the wealth in your bank account. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the next one. The last reset, this is probably the most critical one out of all. Reset number 5 is my favorite, and that's why I left this one as the last one overall. More than a trader, versatility. So this kind of goes back to the number 1. Like, what other thing other than trading that you do? And I guess the hard thing about it is, especially as a scalper, I'm always trading. I'm always in front of the screen because I'm looking for the opportunities. It might happen on the 1 hour, my 15 or whatever. But if you're a swing trader, you probably get to enjoy this a little bit better, because if your setup is not there, you get to walk away from the screen and everything else. But this is for my day traders more so, right? More than a trader, versatility. All right. Self-improvement, reading books, learning a new skill, generating a hobby. My floor will tell you when it's all said and done. There's times I will just be like, hey guys, at the end of the day, I don't like how the trades are going. I'm going to go ahead and hit up some video games. I'm going to take my mind away from this market because I don't want to do something reckless. Like, you got to have more than a trader versatility. I homeschool. I use that as a little bit of a distraction away from the market for a certain degree. It's just those things is what you're probably going to have to do, so that way you can kind of realign yourself with the market. Because if you're not in line with the market, you're going to end up going against the current, and you're probably going to get your face ripped off. So that's probably the most important thing. Reset number 5. Maybe write this down, double bold it, underline it, whatever you got to do. You're more than a trader, and you got to have that versatility, and you got to work that out outside of trading in itself. All right. So I always give this is my practical tools for mindfulness and trading. You got to be able to have those self-awareness and emotional check-ins. If you're not doing any emotional check-ins, either with friends or family and everything, please just take the moment and do it yourself, right? It allows you to know thyself, and it'll let you know, all right, did I really make a mistake, or did I break a discipline? Where can I actually be better, be 1% better? And those self-reflections and emotional check-ins before you take a trade is very, very critical. All right. The next one is journal and reflective analysis. Kind of goes in with the self-awareness and emotional check-in. Setting boundaries and limits. Look, you don't have to trade every day. It doesn't have to. If your goal is to make $1,000 a day, you don't have to hit 1,000 every day, because the days that you hit 2,000 will offset for the days that you don't hit 1,000, and maybe you only end up with 250. Yesterday was a good example of that. I just did not like the market movement. It just didn't fit me. I felt like I couldn't read the market. I was not in alignment. So what did I do? I made 250, walked away, and just kept it moving. You gotta be able to do that. Educate on market climates. Very important. You got to be able to know what the market is planning, what the market is doing. Scenario planning. That is basically your whole entire trading plan. Wait for your setup. If your setup is not there, plan it out. all right, this is not there. Oh, I missed that one. All right, let me plan the next one. Or maybe I'll plan at a retracement. Like, these are the things that you have to do, because if you plan for nothing, you will fall for anything, and that market will make you fall for anything whatsoever. I promise you. All right, diversification and portfolio rebalancing, very important. There is money that is meant for trading. There is money that's meant for investment. There's money for long-term investment. Separate it, have it diversified. And when you make money from the market after taking such a high risk and trading type of setup, take some money out for yourself so that way you can go ahead and cater yourself. All right. And then the last one is mindfulness and meditation. Right. That's probably the most important one. Oops. I kind of clicked the wrong slide. Mindfulness and meditation. Probably the most important thing out of all. I'm a God-fearing man. Mine's is in prayer. Maybe yours is not the same way. That's fine. At the end of the day, you got to be able to meditate on what you have done, what you are planning on accomplishing, so that way you can be able to make sound decisions, okay? And nothing's better than just being one with oneself, and that's through mindfulness and meditation. Maybe just go into a silent area, be quiet for a little bit, so that way you can be able to understand what you just experienced in the market. Very, very critical. And then this is where we get to our call to action, right? This is our conclusion. What are you going to do today? Are you going to go ahead and take some of these culprits, arrest them? You know who they are, and you know where they keep on coming for you because they feel like you're an easy mark. Is it over trading? Is it letting your stop losses run? Is it emotional trading, impulsive trading? Now that one was a little bit on my bucket right there. I'm a very, very I guess charismatic, I guess I want to go with character when it's all said and done. I love being completely blunt, honest, and whatever pops in my head, I just lash out. So I'm not the best of handling certain things without my emotions coming to play. I wear my emotions on the sleeve, but I had to be able to arrest that one. I had to lock it in. Now, not saying that I don't get emotional whatsoever, but I do know my triggers, and I do know when I am way too far off at the deep end, that I have to be able to be like, oh man, yeah, he broke a couple rules, but I'm going to let that one slide. All right. Oh, you know what? He's doing something ridiculous. Now it's time to arrest him with more than a trader versatility. All right, it's time for me to go play some video games, give him a hobby, take him out of that, because I don't want him to get emotional in the market. These are the things. This is the call to action for you, so that way you can be able to address those things and become a better trader. On that note, I thank you very much for taking your time and listening to this whole entire thing. By all means, like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Go ahead and be part of the cool kids. I'm telling you, we have a lot of fun when it comes down to mindfulness. Also, we do the same thing on Saturday. It's more of a mindset reset participation. So if you want to go ahead and share your trading journey and everything else, by all means, come. Join Cheat Code, and then you'll be able to see some of my links for that mindset reset. On that note, I thank you for taking the time, and I'll see you later. Have a great day.